Hello friends, this is Dr. Shashi Agarwal. I welcome you all. Today our subject is Indian economic development. As we were doing the topic 5-year plans in India, this is the second and concluding part of 5-year plans in India. In this video, we are going to understand what are the common goals of 5-year plans and what are the achievement of the 5-year plans. If you find my video useful, please do like it, share it, and also subscribe my channel Shashi Agarwal. This video is also available in Hindi at my second channel Shashi Agarwal Economics and Law Class. The link of that video will be shared in the description box. So this is my app, Addisum app, which you could download from Google Play Store. This app provides free study material and mock tests to the student of commerce, economics and management. It also provides various structured courses of economics, commerce and management. So first of all, we are going to understand what are the common goals of planning in India. When we talk about the planning is always linked with the setting up of the objective and goals. So we could define the planning a strategy that define as the resources of the country are limited. So a strategy that is adopted of allocating, taking of the decision how to allocate the country's limited resources in different development activities with a view to achieve a given set of goals. Here the intention in India is to achieve the economic growth with social justice. Every 5-year plan have goals to achieve. Each 5-year plan is designed as a different plan with a different set of objectives. But in this video, we are going to discuss the common goals of 5-year plans, that is the GDP growth, modernization, self-reliance, self-sufficiency, equitable distribution or equity. So GDP growth. When we talk about GDP growth in India, the planning in India was to ensure that the natural resources they were fully explored and there should be continuously improvement in technology so that we should increase in GDP at consistent level. When we talk about the increase in gross domestic product, it means there is an increase in the level of output in the economy. It means we are having more goods and services as compared to the previous year. Increase in GDP leads to economic growth. And when we talk about the economic growth, then there should be consistent increase in the level of output or consistent increase in the flow of goods and services in the economy over a long period of time. Then we say there is an increase in the GDP, and GDP when it increases in the consistent way, then it leads to economic growth. Increasing GDP depends upon if the resource base of the country is of the economy is increased and there is increase in productivity. When we talk about the productivity, that establishes the relation between the input and output. It means by using less input, we are producing more. And when we talk about the GDP growth and structural composition and structural changes, they are very important to understand. When we talk about the structural composition, it means the economy is divided into 3 sectors, that is the agriculture and allied sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, that is the service sector. As per economic survey, agriculture and allied sector contribute 17.8% to the GDP. Secondary sector it is 25.8%, tertiary sector it is 56.4%. As the country develops, the contribution of each economic sector to the GDP changes, which is referred as a structural changes. As the economy changes, earlier we were dependent upon agriculture. Now the agriculture share in the GDP goes on decreasing and the tertiary and secondary sector goes on increasing. It means there are structural changes which are taking place in the economy. Modernization. When we talk about the modernization, it means that we are using the latest technology for the purpose of production. We are also using the latest technology in agriculture as well as in the industry as in the tertiary sector. Modernization as planning objective was not expected to contradict with the employment generation. When we talk about the modernization, it doesn't mean that it is linked with the reduction in the employment. Because here we want to have modernization along with the more employment generation. Both modernization and employment generation, they are the goals of planning. They're taken as a complementary. Both goals, they complement to each other. When there's a modernization, it means there is a increase in the productivity. So there will be more demand for the labor and there will be more employment generation. Modernization means updating and adopting a new technology in the process of growth. When we adopt the latest technology which will cut our cost, reduce our cost, and there will be increase in the productivity, like green revolution, which has taken place in the Indian agriculture. So they focused on adopting modern technology in the agriculture. So that is why the production in the agriculture went on. There was so much increase in the output due to the adoption of the modern technology. In the business sector, IT revolution has redefined the concept of domestic production through business process outsourcing. Modernization in the context of goals and plan in India was assigned a social angle. Here when we are updating our technology, but we also want economic growth along with the social justice. Self-reliance and self-sufficiency. Self-reliance means our economy is not dependent upon the rest of the world for the financial resources. Self-sufficiency means our economy is not dependent upon the rest of the world for the essential supplies in the domestic economy. The twin goal of self-reliance and self-sufficiency was accorded a high priority during the first 7-year plans. India wanted to be self-sufficient in food grain production to avoid the uncertainty of the supplies from the rest of the world. Equitable distribution or equity. Economic growth that will be it will not be meaningful exercise if the benefit of the growth accrue only to few people in the society. No benefit of growth if rich becomes more richer and poor becomes more poor. Even they could not have the essentials of life. So here there should be economic growth along with the social justice. The benefit of the growth must spread across all sections of the society. It should be inclusive approach. Even it should reach to the all section of the society. And there is a difference between equitable distribution or equality. When we talk about the equitable distribution of income in social equality, this was the principal objective of goals of planning in India. And there is a difference between equal distribution and equitable distribution. When we talk about the equal distribution, it means every individual in the society gets the same share in the country of national income, which is not possible. Like clerk will be getting the same salary as the CA will be getting the same salary. But when we talk about equitable distribution, it means the person who are working at the same level, like the clerk who is working in A department, the clerk who is working in the B department, they should get almost the same salary. It refers to situation when difference in income they are allowed, but only within certain limits. Increase in national income. So now we will be focusing on the achievement of the goals. There is an increase in the national income. Most of the plans fail to achieve the targeted rate of growth, but still our plans, 5-year plans, they were successful in breaking the deadlock of economic stagnation. Prior to planning, the national income in India was increasing at the rate of 0.5% only. But end of the 7th 5-year plan, it was recorded at a 5.8%. Reform in agriculture. 5-year plan contributed to the development of agriculture in two ways. In Indian population at the time of independence, 82% were engaged in agriculture, and in the agriculture backward techniques they were used. So agriculture, there were land reform, abolition of intermediary, tenancy reforms, and the ownership of the land was given to the tiller of the land. And there was green revolution, which focused on high yielding variety seeds and adopting of latest technology in agriculture. Green revolution and self-sufficiency in food grain was the hallmark of the change. Growth and diversification of the industry. 5-year plans gave a big push to the basic and capital good industry, iron and steel, machinery, chemical, fertilizers, etc. And consumer goods industry have substantially grown to achieve the level of self-sufficiency. Economic infrastructure, it is not possible to achieve economic growth without development of the economic infrastructure and the social infrastructure. When we talk about the economic infrastructure, which is necessary for the growth of industry and service sector, means of transport, communication, irrigation facility, power generation capacity, banking, insurance facility, they are the key elements of economic infrastructure. And during the period from 1950 to 90, economic infrastructure had recorded a significant growth. Indian Railway has become the largest network. Social infrastructure, health, educational facility were also boosted. And due to the improvement on medical and health facility, there is a significant fall in death rate and significant rise in average life expectancy. Prior to planning, India was the exporter of the raw material and importer of the finished goods. But the situation is changed in 1950 to 90, gradual shift in this trend. India started exporting engineering goods, which is a sign of India emerging as a industrial state. We could conclude, substantial shift in the strategy of growth in the year 91. There is a new economic policy, LPG, liberalization, globalization and privatization. Indian economy during the liberalization, LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization, and there were many relaxations to the industrial sector. Indian economy during the period of 1950 to 90 recorded a noticeable growth in national income along with a significant structural changes across all the sectors of the economy. But here are dark spots also. We were failed to eradicate the poverty. We were failed to curb the high rate of inflation. We were failed to solve the problem of unemployment. We were failed to generate economic and social infrastructure.